Gentlemen, thank you for meeting me. I appreciate it.
No problem,
Gherkin and Aldenon, it's good to see you again. It's always good to be around the company of the Order of Archea.
Well, your company is also just as welcome. The Archmagus thinks your visit is an omen of goodwill and good fortune.
I try to visit as often as I can. My affairs are taking me back to the White City with the Tri-Circle of Chroniclers quite often nowadays, and it seems that I'm there more often than I would like, but that's how things go.
It is a shame. We could definitely use your assistance in our efforts, but it is good to see you now that you're able to come and see us.
Well, thank you. I take that as high praise.
Well, so far you've had a good rapport with a lot of the people, and we're trying to move our efforts and influence into the southern regions of Merdania. And in that so doing, your charisma would aid us quite a bit with the people down there. Not saying that we're having too much of a hard time, but they're just not used to us yet. So a lot of them were segregated from the plague and didn't know the full extent of the part we played in that whole effort. However, things look promising. Actually, a lot of things in the future look promising. Shouldn't you say so, Gergen?
Yes, that's very true, yes. Well, as you know, that with the aid of the Herald, he predicted that we would be successful, and we have, so now we're looking towards what we can accomplish in the south.
Oh, so you're saying that the Herald knew that you would rise to in your influence in Merdania before any of this transpired?
Indeed, yes.
Wow.
And in his knowing, we knew.
Wow, that's quite an asset to have in your back pocket then, yes?
Quite,
Indeed.
yes.
Well, so you mentioned you're moving into the southern region. Now, what I know of the southern region of Merdania is that even though the northern Merdania is quite a pioneer state, the southern half is even more so wilderness and backwater and things that have been unventured for the most part in quite a long time.
It's a bit wild and untamed, you are correct there, just as its people are. But with time and effort, I think that we can find some interesting things there. Looking around at a lot of the artifacts and structures, we believe that heavy activity of the Primarch race existed in the south. And we believe we can find interesting artifacts and magics that may be holding within the tombs.
You mentioned magics. Now, I've heard rumor of a valley in the south that sounds quite interesting. Apparently there is some sort of an army or something of that nature that has been frozen in stone that is petrified there in time.
Yes, and that's only one of the many interesting things that we would like to research when we get down there.
You should see the giant bridge that's collapsed that hangs over the cliffs in the south. It's kind of a rough town, but it's quite an amazing feat. We're not sure how old it is, or if it was who constructed it, but it still stands.
Well, enough with tempting me now to go to the south. As I said, I must go back to the White City to attend to some things, but how about your relations with some of the other factions? There was House de Lune. How are your relations with them? I think I saw a few of them on my way in today.
Actually, we've been taking them as a bit of a service. They didn't receive much rapport with the people, or influence for that matter, and so we decided to use them a bit and see if they'd work for us. We pay them, they provide protection and guarding over things. Not only that, but some of the people in small villages and whatnot have paid for them to manage crime and whatnot. But as far as them controlling anything, their faction is all but waned. They stand more as mercenaries, to say the least.
I see. We're probably still holding on to that dogmatic belief in justice and honor, which are noble.
They are,
Indeed.
yes. Unfortunately, they can also be viewed negatively from people who don't see the world in quite so much black and white as they do. So I think that contributed to their diminished power.
Much like warm water, people get used to the chaos, and order is nothing but a cold bath.
I see. Now, along the lines of civilization, House of Udal, I believe their major aims were to industrialize Merdania and have industry there. Now,
Yes.
have you heard anything from them?
It seems that their efforts were quite that, and they were moving quite swiftly towards that goal. Unfortunately, they got little to no attention from its people. Therefore, without resource, without backing or workers, your industry fails. So they've moved pretty much all of their efforts, as it was quite expensive to move everything over ship to this location. They have nothing but a small camp up by Port Madlet now. You can still speak to them as they have a small embassy there, but that's relatively it.
So I imagine that would make the Telfair Enclave quite happy to see that their lands are not going to be, their lands, industrialized anytime soon.
Indeed. To be honest, our inclusions with the Telfair Enclave hasn't been, very sorted out yet. For the most part, they've done their thing and we've done ours. At the same time, I can't say that we'd be happy about large mage towers popping in and out of all over the landscape. But as of yet, we haven't seen any kind of contact between us two. So hopefully it'll stay that way. I don't have a problem of them doing their thing and us doing ours.
I see. So you can live along a little symbiotically.
Indeed.
Oh, okay.
That is the hope, yes.
Now, I hear that Lion's Crest is doing amazing things in the north.
Yes. They've taken on any assault that the Orcs would try to move into Merdania again. The Orcs have been pretty much pushed out by them. Not only that, but they've dug in so deep, I don't even think a hot poker could run them out. That way, Lion's Crest at the south, keeping the Ashlands to the north. Same thing with Greyhaven at the north, keeping the Ashlands to the south. Seems they boxed the Orcs in back in their own lands. I give Lion's Crest high praise for the efforts they've done.
Indeed. It seemed at least a fortnight I would hear news of an Orc Attack or something of the like, and I have not heard anything about it. If they have eradicated the Orcs from the planet, I don't know if that is the case, but I would certainly believe it if it were told to me.
You should see the fortifications they've erected. Quite impressive. Not as impressive as our mage towers, but still, for mans with hands, quite impressive.
Yes, why, if I were a younger man, I might give those Orcs what for myself.
Yeah.
And join up with the Lion's Crest, but as it is, they are doing an admirable job.
I see, yes, indeed. Now, the Barian Commonwealth, I've had a few interactions with a few of them, bought a few trinkets here and there, and it seems that they're still around. I don't know if their enterprise has grown as vast as they had hoped it would, but it seems that they're still in some of the underpinnings of societal life around Merdania.
Yes, they were looking for larger forms of industry, such as lumber and fishing, and, opening it up to that sort of thing. Unfortunately, they didn't get the backing that they originally wanted, but they seem to be quite efficient in running smaller things, such as the mail, which is civilizing Merdania quite well.
I've used that a number of times already.
Shipping, traveling merchants, caravan routes, they seem to be capitalizing on those areas.
Not to mention festivals.
Yes, I did hear that they've been running a few festivals.
Yes.
And that's been drawing quite a bit of crowd in. Not only that, but tourism in Merdania can do nothing but benefit.
That's true. Let's see that. So, my time here is growing short. So, for your future endeavors, you're looking to move into the south, into the southern regions.
Yes.
There, by the aid of the Herald and his suggestions and his wisdom, we are going to move that direction.
Well, it sounds like you're absolutely on the right track, then.
Yes, the Archmagus thinks so, and there's no one wiser than him in our order.
Well, as one of the branches of the Tri-Circle of Chroniclers, you will always have our support.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you for meeting with me today, gentlemen. I appreciate it greatly. Garkin, Aldenon, it was great seeing you.
You as well.
Good to see you, Warren.
Farewell.